morning. July 9th. New moon in Cancer. Yeah. So, I tried meditating, but I couldn't get into it because my head's like processing just what's been going on emotionally, what happened yesterday in the morning where I heard this person, like I heard a voice. This was the first time I heard a voice calling out my name. And I woke up. Like it's like if I was just, you know what it felt like? It felt like I had closed my eyes, heard the voice, woke up saying this person's name. Like, is that you? And so it was the most trippy experience because I actually heard a voice. So this time I did hear a voice. I think I've mentioned before where I always have this about hearing voices. This was actually me hearing voice. And there was no fear, but more of like what do I do next, right? So I mentioned yesterday that I reached out to this individual. I got emotional because I hadn't reached out to this person. So I went to go see this person. Thinking, you know, I'm on this role of telling certain people, really my closest loved ones, why I'm moving, right? And my purpose, which I don't share with a lot of people. So I'm sharing this story with this loved one. And I'm realizing this person hasn't changed. So I'm like, okay, then why am I here? That was the thought. I'm like, then why am I here? And I knew why I was there, but I was still asking the question. And sure enough, MJ this morning validated it. Like, you know, this lesson is coming around, right? She's talking about it, and she's just like, the one for this morning is standing your power. The lesson is coming around to continue to practice just holding space. Just holding space for people who trigger me. Even though the trigger isn't at the same level as before. Like I found myself yesterday like trying to breathe, trying to like, there was a portrait of, actually it was a portrait of the Virgin Mary, and I was like focusing on her, and she was gorgeous, and she reminded me of a vision that a friend once shared with me. And I'm staring at her, and I'm like just staring at the painting, being taken in by the colors and the movement. Just trying to be patient. And there's a part of me that's just like I could be doing so many other things. That's what's going on in my head. I'm like, I need to pack, I need to do this, but I'm here in this moment. Okay, be present, right? Be present with this individual who's struggling, really, who's struggling, and who's grateful that I'm there. Okay. Be present, you be present. And MJ speaks to it this morning. She's just like, people are going to come around, people who are going to be confused, right? And this is about practicing how to stand in your power, one, how to manage this codependency thing, how to manage my balance, how to manage holding space for those who trigger you most. Okay, check, got it. Because I'm meeting with this person again tomorrow. And knowing that I'm moving, right? That I'm moving. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have the opportunity to be with this person as often. So I'm trying to make the most of this time. And I know I'm not posting. So, well, I mean, by the time we get to this recording, I have already started posting again. And I rewatched the last video that I posted, which was chapter 21, episode 3. Us triggering each other. So I'm like, great. So So that means that these next 2 months, that's probably what I'm going to be exposed to, right? Because I've chosen to put a halt on that message, at least until I move out, because I know what the next videos are, and I don't want to mess with the energy. I don't want to mess with the energy until I'm out of this place. So realizing, okay, I'm anticipating it. I'm going to be encountering people who trigger me, to learn how to hold space, how to be neutral, how to be non-judgmental, right? I mean, I talk about that in what I posted. So, okay, this is going to be an opportunity, at least while I'm here, while this transitional period, while I'm moving out, to start this new chapter, right? To see just how things unfold. No expectations, except from what I'm setting up for myself. And so I'm laughing because I also shared with this individual video of actually the man of the video that I posted on the video on the video that I showed him a video. Actually, my younger cousin who just turned 18 was with him, and I was like, you know what a great opportunity to share a video. But MJ's just like, don't try to change them. I'm like, okay, just hold space, okay. But you know, my nephew really enjoyed the video of the gentleman that I'm referring to. His name's Sam Pond. He does Sam Pond coaching, and so I introduced them to one of his videos, and my nephew actually really liked my nephew. I call him my nephew because he seems a lot younger. He's 18, but he's actually my cousin. And he really enjoyed. He just graduated high school, and he's just like, I really like this guy. I'm like, good, you should follow him, you know. And so he really drew a liking to the videos that I had posted or that I shared with them. But MJ this morning is just like, nope, don't try to change. Like, this is you needing to practice, right? And then I'm even thinking there's a couple people that I need to reconnect. One who was triggered by something that I posted, and she wanted to connect with me. You know, someone who is judging me because of what I'm posting, and you know, that whole topic of the Bible came up, and I shared with her, yeah, I've actually read pretty much almost the entire Bible. And then the comment that came back was, well, then you know what you're doing is wrong. And I was like, why don't we have a conversation about this? And you know, and I shared, actually, I shared that interaction with another loved one who I respect, who's more open-minded, but also who's grounded in religion. And I was just like, how did I respond? Like, was that a good way to respond? Or not a good way, but just a neutral way of responding? She's like, no, that was pretty good. I was like, okay. And basically what I put was like, I don't claim to know everything. And then I encouraged her. I encouraged her to look at my videos from the beginning. Because when you just take something out of context without looking at the whole picture, there's going to be bias, and there's going to be a skewed perspective. It's exactly like if you take something from the Bible without understanding the whole thing, without looking at it from that whole perspective, it's going to be skewed depending on what you pick out. And yeah, so anyways, I invited this person. This conversation occurred through direct messaging, and it occurred before I went to San Francisco, and I mentioned that when I got back I would reconnect with her, and I said, hey, why don't we have a conversation just for the conversation's sake, you know, and to reconnect, because we hadn't reconnected in a very long time. And she was open to that, and she's like, I'll continue praying for him. Like, by all means, go right ahead, right? I mean, prayer is great. So I'm going to plan that out during this time frame that I have open as I'm packing. There's another person who also reached out and is curious. That one, he was more curious, like, how are you doing since the last time we spoke, which was like 10 years ago, I think. probably over 8 years ago, closer to 10, probably, yeah. Probably, yeah, close to 10 years ago. Over, yeah. In terms of just curious about life after where we last worked. So I told him the same thing, that I would reach out, and so we're gonna connect. I'm gonna connect today with a few people, and I'm actually also gonna start moving stuff out, because I found homes for some of my stuff, and I want to take advantage of this downtime to prepare for my second interviews, which are next week, but also to pack and try to get stuff done. And I was doing some of it yesterday. Well, I kind of relaxed because I had a long drive. But I continued yesterday, and I'm cleaning out not just from this last connection, but all my connections. Like I'm really being mindful about what I'm taking and what I'm leaving, and I'm going to only take with me the things that I feel good about. You know, the things that won't hopefully trigger the past, and leave the other stuff with my sister-in-law, and then I'll come back to it when I'm ready to really let go of it. So that felt good. I mean, even some of the things that I had purchased that I completely forgot, and then I'm like, oh, like I have this very beautiful music box that I bought that I was really drawn to it. I think my sister wanted it. I was just really drawn to it. I mean, I love antique stores, but this one, I was just really drawn to it. Isn't that gorgeous? It used to belong to Lynn. I love finding things like that. Lynn. So anyways, it's a music box. And my sister actually, when I bought it, she's just like, I know that tune. And we couldn't figure it out. For the longest time, we couldn't figure it out. And I went to bed with it on because I realized I don't play it. We've heard it before. I just don't know what the tune is. And then, you know, when you try to even put it on your phone for it to listen, it won't pick it up. I don't think so. Just kidding. Did pick it up. It's called Music Box. Music Box. But my sister, she's adamant that it's something else, so I went to bed with this on. So I'm just enjoying, right, what I'm gonna leave behind. Really just remembering, and I think the emotional part I'm over. Hopefully, I mean, today's the Cancer new moon. I've been swollen all week, like ridiculously so. I think today is the first day that my ankles look somewhat decent. But I tried elevating. I know in the beginning it was because I didn't eat very well because of 4th of July, but even after that, like Usually it's not that long where I'll come back, and I was even rolling my legs. I've been walking, I've been elevating. I took my moringa cleanse, two of them yesterday. I think that probably helped the most. So they're starting to look a little decent, but then I'm gonna go have dinner today or lunch with some friends. I'm like, okay, gotta be mindful, because they're the friends that like to like drink a little more. So I'm like, okay, gotta stand in my power. I'm not drinking. I'll be in your presence, but I'm not drinking. And I know I'm not gonna drink because I have things to do tomorrow. But just even this whole experience, I'm like, ugh, I really don't like. I don't like when my body feels like that. So I really make it a point to do what I need to do to feel better. So yeah, so I'm gonna do my new moon ritual today, releasing and letting go and identifying what I want to achieve in 6 months. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, enjoying in the little pleasures of the things that I'm gonna give away, or leave behind rather. I don't know if I'm ready to give everything away, but no, I'm not ready to give stuff away. But you know, what's gonna stay behind will stay behind. Purposefully stay behind. I love this picture. I can't get rid of it. It just, isn't that beautiful? So anyways, so I'm gonna make these appointments, and I guess I'll just keep you guys posted as to what happened next. We continue to pack, to move. Yeah. Alright. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best.